Hey, it's MK. I thought that I would let you know what it is that I am doing right at the moment. I have this binder, and I picked up these 8.5. I think they're 8.5. About 9 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's a waste. 9 by almost 12 page protectors from a little shop that we have. It's a consignment store, so people bring their stuff that they want to sell, kind of like a yard sale. It's a constant, never-ending yard sale. So I picked these up, and my intention, which I had just put it on my thing, that just happened. Way to go, me. I have my fuse tool on, and I just burned a hole in my brand new binder. That's awesome, and now it stinks to high heaven. I'm not gonna lie, go me. So what are my plans? What have I got going on? I know it's not a new idea to anybody, but currently I am using, let me get it over and hopefully I don't burn it too. Currently I'm using one of these. It's called a Clear the Closet. I bought this back in, oh my gosh, 2010 maybe, and it has all these really cool little pockets where this one goes this way, and then these are the ginormous 12 by 12 ones. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put a scrapbooking kit in this pocket, and these are the embellishments for it. So it has a pocket and an embellishment, and they kind of cascade going down, and I think there's 6 on each side, so it's double-sided. And it's for people that don't have scrapbook rooms and need to be able to have the space. And so it's a file one. I also have one for photos, which I actually do use in my closet. Weird. So I thought I would show you this, but I'm not too happy with here, let me bring this back really quick. So the size of pockets, let me pull it up just a hair more. I'm trying to avoid, because that stinks now. Woo, it's smelly. These pockets over here aren't 6 by 6, which I wish they were. So they hold like a 4 by 6 one, or even these little 3 by 4 ones. But when it comes to the 6 by 6s, see that? They're just a 1/4 of an inch off. It won't fit my 6 by 6s, so I've got them all in these big old huge big ones. Big old huge big ones. Yep, go me. I have them all in there, and they're just on top of each other, and I can't see them. So what I thought about doing, and I'm not really sure exactly the plan, but I do know that people keep binders like this. People keep binders, and they have them already. I'm going to do this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. They store, 1 to 2, and then they put a piece of cardstock in there, and then that splits them so you can see both of them. Well, I was thinking, since these are almost 12 inches long, let me look. No, they're 11. They're 11 because they fit in the binder. What a goofy girl. Okay. Well, I was thinking, since they were 12, I was going to fuse them and then cut this one open to try and have 2 pockets for each one. But I'm not really sure. I have plenty, way more than I do stencils. But this way I can see my smaller stencils a lot easier than trying to figure out this goofy thing. There's also 2 pockets here and 2 pockets in the back, but then also the front is a pocket, which that is going to bother me now, and then the back is a pocket. So, and then this is also like a pocket where you can slide in your what it is, which I have multiples of these, so I will be able to, not this one, but I use binders elsewhere throughout my craft room. So that is really going to bother me. What I'll do is I'll rip all this off, and it'll just be a white binder is what I'll end up doing, because of my oopsie that I just did, and it really stinks. I'm sorry. So I'm going to go and play around and see, for one, how many small stencils I have, and for 2, if I want to break this up for my smaller little ones so I can see them all, and then have them also on the back side, depending on how many I have. But I would like to get the most use. I don't want to one stencil and then be done, one stencil and then be done, unless it's of course my 6x6s. I might have to end up doing that, or I could do a 6x6 and then the smaller ones up at the top. So I'm going to play around with it, and I will come back and let you see the end results and see what it is that I did. I do know that not a lot of people like this idea, like they didn't want a binder storage, and then I know some people already have done this and shared it with them on Facebook, YouTube. However, I just wanted to get on and show you guys what I'm doing, because it seems like I go quiet. It seems like I go dark and don't share. But I really have to get rid of that smell because it's bad, and I don't even know if you guys can see the smoke coming out of it. So, oh, yuck. I will be right back to show you guys my final results. Thanks. I just wanted to get back on real quick and show you guys, I had no idea that I had this many stencils. I think that I am, in fact this one's missing. Oh, I remember. I loaned it out, and unfortunately the gal moved away. She returned the one that I loaned out, this blue one, but she forgot that she had that one as well. No big deal. But yeah, I have all of these. I mean, this is crazy. And it keeps going, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to organize them. I just wanted to show you guys what it was that I was dealing with. So all of these were on top of each other in that little stacky file folder thing. Plus I have my favorite stencil attached to the side of my desk. Oh, please hold. So this one is my favorite stencil, and it is attached to my desk. Can you see that? Really cool lines. Anyways, but this one always stays out. It never leaves my sight. It's my go-to, but I think it's because all of these are so stacked on top of each other and hard to, like, if I just want to pull this one out, bad example, but like my circuits and stuff, if I want to try to pull out this circuit board, look, it's all stuck to this one and inside that one. So yeah, I would prefer to have this better organized, one per page, even on the side like this, and pull it out and then have another one on the side if it allows me to, so I can get more in this binder than just one per page. I understand if I can only get one per page, but yeah, this needs loads of help, and so I will get it organized. I took this one out. So this one is a mask. It's by Bo Bunny, and what it is it's a bunch of sticky little masks. It's like a stencil, but it's a sticky stencil, and it goes on your page, and then you rub around it, and then you go wash it off, just like a stencil, but it's sticky. It's a sticky stencil. And then I have several of them by Tim Holtz, and I tried to put them because they were at the top of my list, but then I have a few more smaller ones by Tim Holtz that are also masks. So I thought that I would cut this down so at least it fit in the page protector, so I can keep all my masks together. And then I have borders as well, so I could keep like making borders. In fact, actually I wasn't going to use this as a stencil at all. I was going to use that on a project and put alcohol ink on it, but apparently I never made it that far. I was going to put alcohol ink on this. I did not realize it was a stencil until I got the packaging for it. So the person that I bought this from, the online store or whatever, did not say that this was a stencil at all, and the thickness of it definitely doesn't read stencil. But anyways, you guys don't want to hear that. But I can make several slots on a page protector for 3 to 4 stencils, depending on the width of them, if I need to. But this disaster needs help, and my OCD is going crazy, and I probably would have never known that I had all of these stencils had I had these organized to begin with. So yeah, and I don't hardly have any 12 by 12, so that organizer was really not doing me any good at all, considering all of the smaller stencils that I have. So please, I will return with what it is that I will be doing with all of my stencils and show you how I have them organized. Alright, thanks. Okay, well that didn't take as long as I thought it would. I labeled my binder on the ends. This is normally what I do, and I don't do anything on the front, but because I had that little nick in there and it was driving me nuts, I had to fix the front part. But it's not shiny anymore. It's not, I took the pocket per se off, and I wanted to show you guys how I kind of set it up. Excuse me. So in the front pocket I put these masks, so that way they, for one, they are wider than my pages, but they are still, they fit in the book. So then I made this one for the Tim Holtz ones just the perfect size. Every time I flipped the page they kept falling over, so I decided to do that. I made one for borders, so I have a few spots left over. In fact, this whole side right here. Excuse me. And then I started with my larger stencils and then went through the book. There's no rhyme or reason as to why they're in here. I just put them in by size, and then when I got to the oddball, I guess it's oddball, when I got to this one, that's when I started using my fuse tool and custom making a few of these. Now, when I first put these in, they actually, they fit. But as soon as I made the slice to be able to get this one out, and then the fuse, this one does stick out just a hair, but it doesn't fall out or fling out when I fold the page over. And I have a few of those. In fact, I have one that is available still, but I didn't make multiples. I didn't make a ton for, you know, ones that I might get, because I never know what size stencil I'm going to get until it's actually here. That's one of the things I don't pay attention to, is that it's a 6 by, well, I do pay attention if it's a 6 by 6, especially if there's a 12 by 12, but things like these ones here, I just get them because I like their design. I don't really read how big they are. And then of course I just stuck this mask right here. Not really sure exactly where I'm going to put it, but right there it is where it lives right now. And then I made one, is it one? I started making 6 by 6 pockets. So this one here is a 6 by 6. When I cut these open, because I'm cutting all the way through the page protector, in fact all of these are cut through the page protectors. When I cut this one, I only cut the opening for the stencil. So it is just right here on the edge. And then of course I fused the edges so they wouldn't rip or tear, and made sure that they were stable enough to hold my stencils, but I don't foresee, you know, a whole lot of ins and outs and uses. Now when I did my 6 by 6, I only did a 6-inch opening, a little bit more than a 6-inch opening, so I do have that leeway to be able to take the stencil in and out and be feeling like that this is not going to rip anytime soon. if this doesn't work, I've only done 2 pages, and so if this doesn't work, then what I will do is I will go ahead and throw it away, and I'll probably just do this one and only, you know, cut it the width I need it, and then these bigger ones will get their own pages, just because that seems to be okay for me. But my 6x6 ones, I had one that was a little bit larger than a 6x6, so I went ahead and did the exact same thing, went all the way across, and then put some more of my stencils. And then when I came across smaller stencils, I did my 6x6, and then I folded it in half so I could do these. I think these are Amy Tan's stencils. So just have a few of those. Like I said, I didn't do you know, extras. I didn't pre-plan having anything. So in order for me to not do that, all I did was stick my 6x6s in here and call them good. I have several of these stars because this one is, sorry, not that you guys want to know this, but I have several star clusters. Some of them, the stars are, I call them fat and squatty, which are these Paige Evans stars. These ones are a little bit more whimsical, which means they're not perfect, they're not asymmetrical. And then of course you have the asymmetrical stars over here by Echo Park. So when I decide on what kind of star or type of star, now I have 3 different stars to choose from depending on, you know, what I'm using them for. And I know that seems weird, like why do your stars need to match? I am that OCD. I apologize. But I do have several pages to grow. If I need to grow, it seems like this seems to be the size stencil that I purchase. And so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And then I also cut up one of my Tim Holtz masks, and when I created this pocket right here, I didn't want this little part that I cut out to get lost down at the bottom, and then I ripped this trying to get it out because my hand can't get in there. So I decided to just put it in the back of my album. It'll rest there. I don't mind if I I just thought 2 of these types of stencils would be more beneficial than, you know, trying to use the same one over and over and over again. So, and I know eventually they are going to, you know, wear out and not be good anymore, but there's always that spray that I've heard. I need to go get that because I think that'll help out a lot. It doesn't bother me that they stick up, that these are 12 inches and the book's only 11 and a half. That does not bother me, but for right now, this is the way that my stencil album looks. I went ahead and I put the cardstock in all of my papers just so I used the exact same cardstock. Not that I have intention of purchasing that many more stencils, but I wanted to make sure that when I'm ready to do the stencils later on in life, everything is the same. I just bought a pack of, I just bought a pack of cardstock from Joann's. It was 50 pieces, and it's smooth on one side and then kind of roughed up on the other side. So not a big deal. They go on sale all the time at my Joann's. But I happen to have that on hand and in my stash, so I put it to good use. That was what I had left over from this packet, from doing all of these pages, and then of course cutting down the strips to the sizes that I wanted them. So this is like my only scrap that I have left. Thank you so very much for watching and seeing how I store my smaller stencils. Thanks.